Okay, so welcome to another building class. So today's class is going to focus primarily on the hips, a little bit of the shoulders, and working through the spine. I have a couple of yoga blocks here and a couple of therapy balls. They're helpful to have for this class, but they're not necessary. We'll actually be working rather hard today. So I would like you to gauge how much effort you want to put forth with all these reps. I'll ask you for a little bit more. Work at that sweet spot that works for you today. Okay, we're going to start on the ground. We're going to start with some diaphragmatic breathing. So go ahead, bend your knees, have your feet flat on the floor, bring your hands to your belly. What I'd like you to do is try to inflate your belly as much as you possibly can. And then on the exhale, just let that breath go and feel free to sigh. Good, we'll do that a couple of times here. So big breath in, and then just sigh it out. Again, big breath in, and just sigh it out. Good. So now we're going to exhale. What I'd like you to do is exhale with a smooth, consistent airflow out. And we're trying to exhale out all the breath that we have in our body. So first things first is we're going to breathe into the belly as much as we possibly can. Then nice and easily exhaling out, consistent airflow as if you're exhaling through a straw. At the end of your exhale, I'd like you to try to squeeze a little bit more air out. Excellent, good. And we do that because we're trying to activate those inner core muscles. So again, let's breathe into your belly. And then nice smooth exhale out. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. At the very end, try to squeeze a little bit more air out if you can. Good, one more time. Big breath into your belly. And then exhaling out. Consistent airflow on the exhale. At the end of your exhale, just squeeze a little bit more air out if you can. Great. Good. Now I'd like you to take your hands to your lower ribs. So we're going to do all that diaphragmatic breathing again. But what I'd like you to do is coach these lower ribs to collapse in towards your spine. We're trying to activate our oblique muscles and our transverse abdominis muscles as well. So breathe into your belly first. Then exhaling through an imaginary straw and coach these lower ribs to collapse in towards your spine. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze more air out if you can. And then we'll breathe in again into your belly. And then nice long breath out. Coaching those lower ribs, collapse in towards your spine. Squeezing all the air out. And then one more time, breathing into your belly. And then exhaling, start to squeeze all the air out. Excellent, good. So now what we're going to do repetitions of abdominal curls where we're trying to use that diaphragmatic breathing and we're trying to activate all those inner core muscles as we activate our outer core muscles. So I'd like you to tuck your chin and try to look into your heart so that you're using your deep neck flexors. And then have your hands on your side and hands on your thighs and simply slide your hands up towards your knees the best that you can as your eyes look into your belly button. This is our abdominal curl, and then we'll just come on back down. So again, tuck your chin, slide the hands all the way up, try to touch your knees, and then back down. You should feel how those outer core muscles are engaging your abdominal muscles. Good. So we're going to do 10 reps of this. What I'd like you to think about is as you're curling up, can you collapse those lower ribs in towards your spine? So we were just practicing that movement while breathing. So you want to try to get that same muscle activation of having these ribs collapse down towards your spine. And this is actually motor behavior that we're trying to teach our body right now. We're trying to teach our body how to flex our spine and include the muscles that will eliminate that rib cage flare. And rib cage flare tends to develop when we sit a lot. Our back muscles start to do more of the work of stabilizing our torso in space, and our oblique muscles and our transverse abdominis muscles stop doing the work. So we're just trying to restore functionality to our core muscles, the anterior core muscles. One more time here. Come up to the very top and just hold here, and let's do 3 breaths here. So we're in this curl position. We're going to try to breathe into the belly, and then try to exhale all the breath out. And then see if you can also curl a little bit more as you exhale. So again, breathe into your belly. And then exhale, try to get all the breath out and see if you can curl a little bit more. One more time. Breathe into your belly. Exhale, see if you can curl a little bit more. And then come on down. Excellent, good. Hopefully you really felt those muscles engage, and that's all we want. We just want to feel those muscles turn on. And the more often we get those muscles to turn on, the more often that they are involved in when we move, okay? So now we're going to do a counter movement. We're going to do some floor bridges. I'd like you to tuck your heels up towards your hips. Reach your hands, see if you can touch your heels. It's okay if you can't. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together and try to drive your shoulders into the floor. Good. Then I want you to imagine you have a belt buckle on. Turn that belt buckle up towards your chin. Good. From this position, we're just going to try to bridge the hips up as high as we can as we exhale. And then inhale, come on back down. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of these. Smooth motions here, bridging up and coming back down. What's really key about this bridge exercise is trying to keep that belt buckle pointed towards your chin the entire time. Good. That's really important because we don't want the lumbar spine extending and doing the work that our hips, our glutes should be doing. So we're trying to create extension at the hip socket, not extension at the lumbar spine. So belt buckle towards your chin is really important for that. And quick note is that we spend so much time sitting that our back muscles, our lower back muscles, are active in holding our postures in that chair, while our glutes are turned off, which then changes how we move our body and work through the pelvis, lumbar spine area. So we're just trying to restore functionality in that area with these bridges. So that's why belt buckle is so important to point towards the chin as we're lifting the hips. Good, let's lift one more time and then let's hold and let's do some diaphragmatic breathing here. So belt buckle points towards your chin, your hips are up as high as you can. Try to breathe into your belly and then try to breathe out. Good, let's do that 2 more times. On the exhale, see if you can lift your hips up a little bit more. So breathe into your belly, exhale, see if you can lift those hips up a little bit more. One more time, big breath in and big breath out. And if you feel those glutes and hamstrings turn on, great, excellent. Okay, good. So now I'd like you to slide your feet so that they are shoulder width apart, and then bring your arms out to the side. You're going to press your arms into the floor as you slowly windshield wipe your knees down to the floor to the left, and then down to the floor towards the right. What's really important here is that you want to keep your shoulders static. So shoulders are tattooed into the floor. If you press your hands down into the ground, that will activate your upper back muscles, and that's going to make it easy to keep those shoulders on the floor. And then just do your best to move your knees over to the left and over to the right. We're just literally trying to create some rotation in your hip sockets and rotation in your spine. Keep the movements nice and slow. We're trying to control how our body moves through space. And we're just going through this movement just to reintroduce this movement pattern to our body. Let's do one more time to each side. Take it nice and slow. Don't force anything. Just ask for a little bit more. Excellent. Good. So let's go back to our abdominal curls, okay? But this time we're going to bring the hands up overhead. We're literally going to reach the hands up towards the ceiling and then reach for the knees. And what this does is it creates a longer lever arm. So our abdominal muscles are going to be more engaged. It also starts to integrate your shoulder girdle into your abdominals, your core muscles. So 10 reps here, nice and slowly reaching up toward the ceiling and then trying to touch your knees. Now we're doing the same thing with the head and neck. So we're tucking the chin, try to look into your heart. You want to feel how those front neck muscles are engaging. Those front neck muscles are connected to your abdominal muscles. So with your eyes, try to look into your heart and then try to look into your belly button. Good. Now your body will have the tendency to try to snap through this motion. So try to go slow. Your body will want to use momentum to make it easier. We actually want to go slow. We want to have all the muscles experience creating the movement, right? We want the muscles to feel the tension of the movement through all the positions of the movement pattern. So we don't want momentum right now. Momentum is not going to help us to restore functionality. We could use momentum whenever we're just concerned about completing the task. Right now, let's try to limit momentum as much as possible. Good, one more time, and let's hold at the very top here, and let's go back to our breathing. So try to breathe into your belly, and then exhale, see if you curl your spine as you breathe out. Again, try to breathe into your belly. Big breath out. Good, one more time. Big breath into your belly, and then exhale out. Good, and then come on down to the floor. Good, we'll go back to the floor bridge. Last time we had your heels close to your hips. So now what I'd like you to do is bend your knees 90 degrees and then place your feet down on the ground. This is going to lengthen our hamstrings. So we're going to go back to our bridges with the hamstrings in a different length. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with everything else. So shoulders into the floor, hands into the floor, belt buckle up towards your chin, and then just try to bridge your hips up the best that you can. Good. If you could press your toes into the ground, you should actually feel how you're engaging your hamstrings even more. Good. So belt buckle up towards your chin. That's going to help us to work through the glutes and create hip extension. Toes into the floor helps us to integrate the hamstrings with the glutes to create hip extension, which is what we need when we walk or run. Press those shoulders down. Press those hands down too. That will help share the work up into your upper back muscles and your lat muscles, all of which are part of your posterior chain. We're just trying to make sure that your lumbar spine's not doing the bulk of the work. So belt buckle towards your chin. 3 more times here. And then we're going to hold the very last one. If you can, think about being tall through your spine as you're bridging. Just try to create a little more length through those torso muscles. And then we'll bridge and we'll hold here. And then 3 diaphragmatic breaths. So breathe into your belly. Nice long breath out. See if you can lift those hips up a little bit higher as you exhale. Again, breathe into your belly. Nice long breath out. One more time. Big breath into your belly. And then exhale, try to lift those hips up a little bit more. And then slowly come on down. Good. And then with 90 degrees in your knees, just slide your feet out to the side a little bit more. Take the hands out to the side. Let's go back to our rotations. So we're just going to windshield wiper the knees over to one side and then towards the other side. Again, we're rotating through our spine here and also creating rotation or spin in our hip sockets, which is really good for our hips. Our hips and our shoulders are ball and socket joints, which means every time we use our arms or our legs, there's always a degree of rotation. This exercise right here helps restore the rotational quality to your hip sockets, and also helps to open up your spine a little bit more. So if you spend a lot of time sitting, this rotation of the spine can help to stretch out all those muscles that might get tight from holding that static position of sitting, while also loosening up your hip flexors, which, as we all know, when we sit, those hip socket muscles, they do very little work, so they could get tight there. I said hip flexors, I meant hip rotators. Good, okay. So after all that, now we have our feet are wide, our knees are far apart. We're gonna go back to the abdominal curls one more time, and we're gonna add a twist to it. So same thing as before, we're gonna reach up towards the ceiling, and then we wanna take both hands towards one knee, and then back down to the floor, then up and over to the other side. So what we're doing is we're actively flexing the spine and rotating the spine, which is something that we do not do while we sit. We'll passively do it. We'll passively flex the spine or rotate the spine, using more of our back muscles to do it, but we don't really use our anterior core muscles for these movement patterns while we sit. So we're just doing this as a counter movement for spending a lot of time sitting, working at a desk, or driving. Now let's go ahead and check in with your neck and your head right now. So you're tucking your chin and with your eyes, try to look at your pockets as if you're seeing if your keys or your chain or your change is falling out of your pockets each time you're coming in. Good, and then what we'll do is we'll just do 2 more on each side. Keep the movements nice and slow, and just do the best that you can to try to touch the outside of your knee. And then same thing on the other side. Good, 1 more each side. And by the way, hopefully you feel like you're getting a little warmer right now, which is really good because we're about to go into some dynamic stretching. And if the body's nice and warm, we lower the muscle viscosity or the muscle stiffness, which is just going to make our stretching more effective. So let's roll over onto our side. And this is where if you have a ball, go ahead and grab it. What we're going to do is we're going to do some nice big circles for our shoulders here. So I'm going to hold my knees together with my bottom arm. Then my top arm, I'm going to reach forward and I'm just going to draw a nice big circle on the floor, the best that I can. I'm letting my rib cage roll back. I'm letting my arm twist as it comes behind and bring the back of my hand to my back pocket. And then once I'm there, I'm just going to reverse and go the other way. And if you want a little bit more out of this exercise and you have a ball, or even if you don't have a ball, you squeeze. Squeeze the ball or make a fist and squeeze the fist. That's just going to create more muscle activation through the arm and the shoulder, which helps to improve our motor behavior through these patterns here. If your hand can't touch the floor the entire time, that's okay. But just know that's where we want to go. So if your hand's not able to touch the floor the entire time, just try to do this exercise a little more often during the week. Don't force anything, right? Through repetitions, through exposure, your body will change. It's a gradual process, unfortunately, but gradual will lead to sustainability. Excellent, good. So after doing circles for the shoulder, we'll do circles for the hip. If you have a ball, you can place the ball behind your knee. Let's make a pillow for your head. And with your top hand, let's hold on to the pelvis, okay? We'll bring the knee up towards your chest, then up towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna reach back as far as we can, and then lower the knee down and bring your knees together. Again, try to keep the pelvis nice and still as we move this leg through the biggest circle that we possibly can make. Try to go nice and slow too. So again, knee up towards your chest, knee up towards the ceiling, then reach your heel for the wall behind you, then lower the knee down and knees together. 2 more times. Nice and slow. Check in with your breathing. Make sure you're still breathing. Your body may want to hold its breath when it's moving through positions it's not familiar with. Just return to squeezing that breath out. Good, now let's reverse. So now we're gonna reach back as far as we can, lift the knee up towards the ceiling, then try to bring the knee to your top shoulder, and then knees together. So again, reach back, 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 then up towards the ceiling, then right towards your top shoulder, and together. Good, let's reach back as far as you can, and then up, 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 right towards your shoulder. Good, 2 more times. Just asking for a little bit more range of motion all the way around the circle, not forcing anything, just asking for more. Good, 1 more time here. Reaching back, lifting up, right towards your shoulder. Excellent. Good, and then we'll go ahead, we'll flip sides. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll start with the shoulders here. So we're gonna tuck your knees up towards your chest, bottom hand holds your knees together, top hand reaching forward, and trying to draw a circle on the floor around your body. Let that rib cage roll backwards. Twist your arm as you're reaching behind you. Have the back of your hand come to your back pocket, and then untwist your arm as you unwind your arm. Good, let's try that again. Maybe try to make the circle a little bit bigger by reaching away from your body all the way around the circle. Try to keep the hand on the ground. Again, if the hand comes off the ground, that's okay. Don't force anything. Just try to practice a little bit more throughout the week. And going back the other way. Good, and let's do it one more time. Nice big circle, all the way around. And then reversing the circle. Unwinding your arm and untwisting your arm. Good, so then we'll do circles for your hip. So go ahead, we'll place the ball behind your knee if you have one. Hold on to your pelvis, make a pillow for your head, and then bring the knee up towards your chest. Lift the knee up towards the ceiling. Reach the heel back as far as you can. Lower that knee down and knees together. Good, again, knee up towards your chest, up towards the ceiling. Reaching back as far as you can and lower down. Good, knee up towards your chest, up towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Lower down. 2 more times here. Just asking for a little bit more range of motion. So a little higher, reaching back a little further. Lower that knee all the way down, bring your knees together. Okay, and one more time. Knee up towards your chest, up towards the ceiling. Reach that heel backwards, lower down, and knees together. Good, and then reverse. Reach back as far as you can. Lift that knee up towards the ceiling, right towards your chest, and down. Again, reaching back, knee up towards the ceiling, right up in towards your chest. Excellent. Good. Reach back, back, back. Ask a little bit more. Then nice and slowly lifting up. Your body will probably want to go fast to that part of the circle. If you go slow, you'll really get your external rotator muscles more involved. We'll turn them on, just like so. One more time. Reaching back, back, back. Nice and slowly lift that knee up, and then try to bring it towards your shoulder and together. Excellent. Good. So now we're going to go into a quadruped, and we're going to do a little bit for our shoulder girdle. So what I'd like you to do, if you have a yoga block, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have a yoga block, you could do this on the floor. So with the yoga block, I'm going to place one hand on top of the yoga block, and I'm keeping my elbows straight. I'm keeping my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm pressing into this yoga block really, really hard. And what will happen is that this opposite hand will float off the ground. I'm protracting through this shoulder girdle, and that pulls my rib cage away from the ground, and it lifts the other hand. So we're just trying to activate our shoulder girdle here by squeezing that yoga block into the floor. Again, you could do this without a yoga block. Your hand would just be on the floor. Same process though, you're just trying to push your palm into the floor. And you're keeping your elbows straight. That's really important. Elbows stay straight the entire time. Just press down to lift up the other hand. Good. One more time on this hand. Pressing down to lift up the other hand. Good. And then let's switch hands. And we'll do the same thing. So we're pressing down, keeping the elbows straight. And then the other hand will just float up. Pressing down, protracting through our shoulder girdle. That pushes our rib cage away from the ground. Good. I'd like you to check in with your shoulders right now. Pull the shoulders away from your ears. They might creep up towards your ears, and that's just out of habit. So pull those shoulders away from your ears. We've got 3 more here. Good. Just activating our shoulder girdle. Pressing one hand into the floor to lift the other hand up off the floor. We're trying not to rotate through the rib cage. We're trying to protract through the shoulder girdle, and that moves the rib cage away from the ground. Excellent. Good. So then we can place that yoga block off to the side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build off of what we just did. So I'm going to work with the other hand on the ground. It's going to be the same muscle activation here as I take my other hand under, I'm threading the needle, and then I'm reaching up, okay? So again, reach under, under, under. This support arm is active the entire time, and I'm pressing the floor away as I reach up. I'm reaching under. I'm pressing my bottom hand into the floor as I reach under. And then I'm reaching up, still pressing the bottom hand into the floor. 2 more times here, reaching under and reaching up. Last one, reach under and then reaching up. Good. So then let's switch sides, okay? So make sure you pull the shoulders away from your ears. Then reach under as far as you can. You're threading the needle. And then reaching up towards the sky. Good. Again, reaching under. And then reaching up. You're continuously pressing into the floor with that bottom arm. Good. Check in with your elbows. Right? Try to keep the bottom elbow straight. You're trying to make your shoulder girdle muscles do the work, not your triceps. Your elbow will want to bend as compensation. One more time here. Excellent. Good. Okay. So then let's do a similar sequence for the hips. So I'm going to take my yoga block here. I'm going to place it on top of my hips. I'm going to bring my knees together. I'm going to take my hands nice and wide. Wide hands is important because it's going to help keep your body from shifting. And this is where having something on your back is really helpful. All I'm simply going to do is slide my knee out to the side and lift it up like a dog at a fire hydrant. But I'm trying to balance the yoga block. So I'm really activating the lateral hip muscles here as I do this. My arms are super strong, and that helps to keep my torso and my pelvis square to the floor. And I'm just sliding that knee out to the side and lifting up. What you're going to notice is that at some point you hit your limit. And when you hit your limit, I just want you to ask for a little bit more for 1 full second. Okay? So just slide out to the side, hit your limit, and just ask a little bit more. Feel how those muscles have to really turn on a little bit more. And that's really our goal. Muscle activation here for muscles that we don't use that much in a position that we're not in that much. Good. Let's do one more time. And just ask for a little bit more. Good. Then I'll spin around to the other side. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so hands are wide. Slide the knee out to the side. Ask for a little bit more and return. Trying to keep the pelvis and the torso square to the floor. So every rep, you should feel like there's a little effort, especially at the end. And it doesn't matter how high you lift your knee, right? What really matters is that you just experience a little effort at your end range of motion. Good. Let's do 3 from here. Slow, smooth movements, and then effort at the end. Again, slow, smooth movements with effort at the end. Good. One more time here. Slow, smooth movements, and at the end, ask for a little bit more. Okay, good. So then we're going to have some fun. So option is to keep working with those fire hydrants, or you could come to a kickstand position like so. So just slide the leg out to the side like it's a kickstand on a bicycle. It's important to have an object on your back for this exercise specifically. These are called lift-offs. I'm literally just trying to lift my leg up off the ground. So the first thing I do is I slide my foot out as far as I can so that my groin muscle is fully stretched. Then I anchor my arms into the ground, strong arms, and then I'm just going to try to lift my foot up off the ground. It's not going to be easy. You'll feel activation right here. And we just want to do this 5 times. So we just want to try to lift off. And by the way, it's okay if the foot does not come off the ground. It's just trying to lift off. That creates the muscle activation that we're looking for right here. So just do the best that you can, strong arms, and try to lift that foot up off the ground. 2 more times. Good. Last one here. Excellent. And then we'll switch sides. So again, this exercise is all about effort. And we simply create effort by being in a position where we're at our end range and then just trying to move a little bit more. So your legs out to the side, your groin is stretched, your arms are strong, and then you're just trying to lift the foot up off the ground without moving your pelvis. So having something on your back right now is a really great way to make sure that you're not going to compensate by twisting your pelvis and using your back muscles. Instead, we want to focus on our lateral hip muscles. 2 more. Last one. Awesome. Good. So then we take that off of our back, and then we're basically trying to combine these movements together. So we're going to come back to kickstand here. We're going to do some dynamic stretching here. So we're going to rock our hips back. Then we're going to slowly rock our hips forward. You may have to walk your hands forward. Good. Again, rocking the hips back as far as you can, and then rocking the hips forward. Good. One more time, rocking back, slow, controlled movements, and then rocking forward. Good. Then let's come back to our starting position, and let's revisit these thread the needle. So we're going to reach under as far as you can, and then reach up. Again, reaching under and up, trying to keep that bottom elbow nice and straight. One more time. Perfect. And then let's switch our hands here and thread the needle again. So bottom elbow straight as we reach under and as we reach up. Again, reaching under and up. Slow, controlled movements. Really just trying to spend more time in positions that we probably don't spend a lot of time in. Good. After all that, we'll switch sides. We'll come to that kickstand position. And once we're there, then we'll rock the hips back. And then slowly rock the hips forward, perhaps walking those arms forward. Good. Again, rocking back. And then rocking forward. Good. One more time here. Rocking back. And rocking forward. Great. So then come to that starting position and let's thread the needle. So reach under as far as you can and then reach up. Keep that bottom elbow nice and straight. Try to exhale as you reach under as far as you can. See if that allows you to reach a little bit further. Good. Then after you've done 3 reps, we'll go ahead and we'll switch sides, keeping the bottom elbow nice and straight as we reach under and as we reach up. One more time. Excellent. Good. From here, let's go ahead. Let's find ourselves in a seated position. We'll do a little bit for the ankle and the knee, and then we'll get back into the hips. So let's go ahead. Let's hold our shin with both hands. You could do it a couple different ways, both hands on the shin. You could also wrap the arm underneath. We're just going to do some ankle circles. So we just want to circle your toes nice and slowly. And it's important to go slow here because you want to remind the ankle and the mind, the brain, where your foot can go, how your ankle can articulate. So slow, 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 as big as you can. We'll just do 3 in each direction. Okay, and then I want you to change direction, go the other way. Or I'd like you to watch your foot too. Notice if it skips around the circle at any certain points of the circle. If it's skipping, it's really just your motor behavior has forgotten that position. And we'll go from one position, skips over another position. And that's something that tends to happen when we walk on flat surfaces and we sit a lot. Our ankle joint is not reminded of all the positions that it's able to get into. Good, let's switch. And essentially that's what we're really doing with this exercise is we're reminding the body of what the ankle can do. And then we're trying to be in those positions. And every time you're in a position, you are developing strength for that position, which is a blessing, but it's also a curse. So we spend a lot of time sitting, our body's becoming more accommodative, or our body accommodates sitting more. We get better at sitting. Good, let's change directions. Go the other way. So right now we're just trying to go through a bunch of different positions so that we could get better at all these positions. And hopefully that means that these positions and movement patterns are available to us when we need them in our lives. Last circle here. Okay, so then let's focus on the knee real quick, okay? So I want you to have your heel on the ground, take your hands to your kneecap, hold your knee here, and then just try to twist your shin back and forth. Yeah, we're trying to restore the rotational quality of your knee here. Good, and once you can see that the shin can rotate, it ideally wants to point in and out 45 degrees. Once we see that is rotating, then let's add in the extension and the flexion. So I'm going to rotate my shin in, and then I'm going to extend my knee. Then I'll rotate my shin out as I bend my knee. Again, rotate in, then extend, rotate out as I bend. One more time here. Rotate in, extend, rotate out, and bend. And then change direction. So rotate the shin out, then extend, rotate in, and bend. Excellent. One more time here, rotating out, extending, rotating in, and bending. Good, so then let's do the same sequence with the other side. So heels on the ground, hands on your knee, rotating the shin in and out the best that we can. Excellent. And then let's go ahead, let's add the extension and the flexion. So I'm going to rotate my shin in, I'm going to extend, rotate my shin out as I bend. Again, rotate in and extend, rotate out and bend. One more time here, rotate in, extend, rotate out and bend. And then I'll switch directions. So I'm rotating out as I extend, rotate in and bend. Good. Again, rotate the shin out and extend, rotate the shin in and bend. One more time, rotate out, extend, rotate in, and bend. Excellent, good. So after all that, I'm going to grab my 2 yoga blocks here because I'm going to set up for an exercise coming up in just a little bit. Right now, actually I should angle myself this way so you really see what I'm going to do. I'm going to block my torso in space. You can either post up with your arms behind you, or if you like, you can hug one leg in towards your chest. We want to try to make sure that the torso does not lean back, right? So it's up to you if you want to post up or hug. All we're going to do is simple leg lifts. Try to activate our hip flexors here. So just try to lift up as high as you can and back down. Good. Similar with the other exercise like the fire hydrant. When you get to the very top, that's where we want to ask a little bit more for 1 full second and come back down. Good, so lift, 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 and ask a little bit more, and down. Again, lift, 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 ask a little bit more, and down. Great, and then switch legs, same thing. So this exercise makes you want to work. Well, this exercise makes you work even if you don't want to work. So we want to lift up, get to our limit, and ask for more, all right? We're trying to activate muscles in a position that we don't spend a lot of time in. And that's basically why we're weak there. So up, 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 ask a little bit more. 2 more times. Up, 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 ask a little bit more. Last one. Up, 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 ask a little bit more, and down. Good, okay, so let's do that again, and we'll add a little twist to it. So we're gonna set up with the other leg. We're gonna lift the leg up as high as you can. And then we're literally just going to twist. So try to turn your kneecap in and out. You're twisting your leg from your hip socket here. So thigh is twisting in and out. Kneecap points in 45 degrees, points out 45 degrees. We'll do this for another 5, 4. Can you lift your leg up higher? 3. Can you twist further in each direction? 2. Last one here. And down. Excellent. And then we'll have just as much fun with the other leg. So hug the leg really, really tight, lift the leg, and then start to twist in and out. Kneecap points in 45 degrees, points out 45 degrees. Try to lift that leg up a little bit higher. Good. And then try to twist a little bit further each way. We've got 5 from here. So 5, 4. Can you ask for a little bit more? Can you go a little higher? Can you twist a little bit further? 3, 2. Last one. And down. Excellent work. Okay. So now I'm going to turn this way, so I can demonstrate what I'm going to do for the next exercise. So I have 2 yoga blocks here, which is great because that means I could go back and forth with my legs. I'm going to post up this time with my arms behind my back so that my torso does not move. And I'm simply going to lift one leg up and over the yoga block, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Once I clear that yoga block, I can challenge myself by moving the yoga block closer to my pockets, which is going to force my leg higher and wider on each side. And what we want to do is that we want to continue to challenge ourselves, force our leg higher and wider, using your hip flexor muscles to do this. Also your lateral hip muscles. We'll do 3 more from here. As long as you find that you are working to challenging your range of motion, you're doing the exercise perfectly well. Doesn't matter where you get right now. What really matters is that you just try to challenge yourself to go higher and wider without moving your torso. Again, this is an exercise that really requires you to put effort into the movement, even though your body will try not to do it. Your body will always want to compensate and save effort. So just doing the best that you can. Like so. Good. So then what we can do is that we can also reset and see if we could do both legs at the same time, which is a lot more difficult. And if eventually what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a straddle position here. We're trying to actively get into a straddle position. So we're trying to use our muscles to get to be strong enough to get us into position. We could easily pull ourselves into a straddle position passively. You know, we could put our feet up against the wall and just pull ourselves in. What we're trying to do is trying to actively get into straddle so that we have better control over our hip socket, which will protect our lower back. Good. So one more time, just do the best that you can to try to create that straddle position. And then back. Excellent. Okay. So all that was really preparation to now try to push ourselves into straddle position for some dynamic stretching. So slide your legs out as far as you can. And then with both hands, just slide down your leg as far as you can towards your foot and then slide back. And then the other side. Good. We're stretching out our hamstrings, stretching out our back muscles. You might feel it in your groin. You might feel it in your calf muscles too. That's all good. We just want to do a few reps of this. We're just trying to restore range of motion here. Good. And if you could exhale as you slide your hand, that will activate your inner and your inner core muscles to work with your outer core muscles to pull you into position. Okay, so 2 more times each side. Big long exhale. And again, nice big long exhale. At the other side. Good. So then we went down the sides. It's only fair that we try to go down the middle. So same thing, 5 times, exhaling and just reaching, and then coming back. Slow movements here. We really want to control how our body is moving through space. That way we're getting stronger through these movement patterns and getting stronger in all these positions. So big exhale and just reach, reach, reach. 2 more times. Big exhale, reaching. Last one here. Excellent. Good. So after all that, now what we're going to do, we're going to try to move through a series of exercises called transitions, where we're literally trying to move from one position to another position using the hip muscles and the lower body muscles and the core muscles to do it, as opposed to passively getting ourselves into position. So this is the straddle position. What I'd like us to try to do is try to find a 90-90 position. So we're going to bend our knees. We're going to try to bring the knees towards our shoulders. And you're going to get 90 degrees here. And then you're just going to try to windshield wiper your knees down to the floor like we were doing at the very beginning. Now you may post up onto the floor with your arm to prevent you from falling over. That's okay. If you can get into position without posting up, that's ideal. But just be wherever you are today. And then from this 90-90, we can then try to come back to this bear sit position and then find 90-90 on the other side, just like so. Good. So let's do these transitions 3 times. So we're going from 90-90 to bear sit to 90-90 on the other side. Again, trying to not use your assistance with your arms on the floor. You can, but you're trying not to. So if your hands come down for a little help, that's okay. You just want to minimize the help that your arms give you. And you'll feel how your core muscles and your hip muscles are getting more active and therefore getting stronger in all these positions. Good. We'll bring it back to the other side, and then we'll do one more transition from one side to the other side. Coming back, just doing the best that you can to use your hip muscles and your core muscles. I'm reaching my arms out for counterbalance because I don't have the ability to keep my spine vertical just yet. Good. And then we'll come back to that bear sit position and we'll slide back out to straddle. So that was going from 90-90 through bear sit, which is an easier version than going from 90-90 through straddle. So now let's go ahead and try it through straddle. So from here, we're literally just trying to find 90-90. And then we're going to try to push back to that straddle position. And then we'll try to find 90-90 on the other side. And then push back to a straddle. Again, you could use your hands on the floor for support. The goal is to minimize the support that you use with your arms. And we're trying to come to that wide straddle position each time. Your body will want to shorten that straddle position to make it easier. One more time each side. Excellent. So after all that, this is a lot of work for the core and for the hips, on the front side of the hips and the sides of the hips, and working through the groin and your core muscles. So we're going to lay down on our back. We're going to do some exercises to help work the back side of your hips, as well as the rest of your core, specifically rotation through your core. So let's have some fun on how we get down to the floor. So let's go ahead, point our toes, reach our hands up, tuck your chin, look into your belly button, and then just slowly curl down one vertebrae at a time. So I'll count to 10. So try to go down nice and slowly on a 10 count. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and excellent. Good. Okay, so let's go ahead, bend our knees. We're going to revisit our bridge. So remember, belt buckle points towards our chin. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we're going to take one leg, we're going to hold it in towards our chest. So we're isolating one leg, and then we're just going to do our best that we can to bridge the hips up and then come back down. 5 bridges. And just like the other exercises, you're going to hit your limit. And when you hit your limit, that's where I just want you to ask for more for 1 full second and then back down. Good. So again, just bridge up, 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 get to the top, ask for more for 1 full second and down. Okay, 2 more times. Get it to the very top, get a little more effort involved and back down. And last one here, bridge up, 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 and down. Good, and then we'll switch. So belt buckle points towards your chin as you bring the other knee up towards your chest, and then bridge your hips up, get to the top, ask for more, and back down. Again, bridge up, 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 ask for a little bit more. 3 more times. Bridging up, 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 then down. Again, bridging up, 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 and down. Last one here, up, 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 and down. Excellent job. Okay, so then what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do some rotation through our core, right? And we're going to try to touch our toes. So I'd like you to lift one leg up and then have your arms nice and wide. You're going to take opposite hand up to the foot that's raised up. You're trying to touch and then coming back down. Now, as you come up, it's got to be slow. You don't want to use momentum here. You want your muscles to create this flexion and rotation. So slow, 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 coming up and coming back down. Good. We're just doing 5 of these. And on the 5th one, we're going to hold. And then we'll come back to these. So we got 2 more here. Nice and slowly coming up, up, up. And then down, down, down. This time come up and hold. And let's do 3 diaphragmatic breaths here. So coming up, now breathe into your belly. On the exhale, just reach a little bit more. Again, breathe into your belly. Exhale, reach a little bit more. 1 more time. Breathe in. Exhale, reach a little bit more. And down. Good. And then we'll have just as much fun on the other side. So bring your other leg up. And then take the opposite hand. Slowly reach for your toes. And then coming back down. You may notice that one side's easier than the other. And that's just being human. So you may want to try to do more reps on the other side. Good. So we've got 2 more to go. Keep your movement slow. And then let's come up and let's hold this last one. So come up. Now 3 diaphragmatic breaths. So breathe into your belly. Exhale, reach a little bit further. Again, breathe into your belly. Exhale, reach a little bit further. 1 more time. Breathe into your belly. Exhale, reach a little bit further and down. Great. Okay, so let's revisit our bridges. And what we're going to do is we're going to add on. So we're going to hold one knee up towards our chest. We're going to bridge the hips up and down, and then we're going to change position for the foot. We're going to walk the foot away from the hips. Okay. So here we go. Let's go ahead. Hold the knee in. Belt buckle points towards your chin. Lift your hips up as high as you can. At the very top, ask for a little bit more, and then come on down. And then just slide your foot out about 2 inches, and let's try that again. So up, up, up. Get to the very top, ask for a little bit more, and then come on down. Then slide your foot out again, and bridge up, up, up. Get to the top, ask for a little bit more, and then come back down. Then we'll slide the foot out a little bit more. Let's do it again. Up, up, up. Get to the very top, ask for a little bit more, and then come on down. 2 more times. Slide the foot out a little bit more. Bridge up, up, up. Get to the very top, ask for more, and down. And then 1 more time, sliding the foot out even further, bridging all the way up. Get to the top, ask for a little bit more, and down. Good. And then switch to the other side. So holding the knee in, belt buckle points towards your chin. Lift your hips up as high as you can. And then come on back. Good. Slide the foot out, and then up, up, up. At the top, ask for a little bit more, and then come back down. Good. Again, slide the foot out. Maybe 2 inches, maybe 3, up, 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 ask for a little bit more, and then come on back down. 2 more times, slide the foot out again, bridging up, 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 asking for a little bit more, and down. And last time here, bridge the hips up, get to the very top, ask for a little bit more, and down. Excellent. So you should have felt those hamstring muscles engage. And now we're going to go back to that toe touch where we're actually stretching the hamstring muscles as we're strengthening the core muscles. So let's go ahead, lift that leg up in the air, and then let's take the opposite hand, reaching up and back down. 5 times. Remember, don't snap up. You want to come up slow and with control. Try to exhale as you reach for your toes and back down. 2 more times. Again, last one, we're going to come up and we're going to hold. And I'll give you an option here. So as you come up and hold, you can lift the other foot up off the ground. Good. And breathe. 3 big breaths. Big breath in, big breath out. We have big breath in and out. Big breath in and out. And down. Excellent. And then we'll switch sides. We'll have just as much fun on the other side. So leg goes up. We come up. Nice and slowly. Try to touch your toes and down. 5 times here. Nice and slowly. During the week, feel free to do more reps. Maybe challenge yourself 15 times nice and slowly and see how that feels in your hamstring and your core muscles. 2 more times here. Okay, last one. Come up. Option to lift the other leg up off the ground and hold for 3 deep breaths. Big breath in, big breath out. Again, big breath in and out. 1 more. Excellent job. Okay, so then let's go ahead and just bend the knees, arms by your side. Let's go back to diaphragmatic breathing. Let's go back to that sighing. Let's just try to relax the body as much as we can. So breathe into your belly and then just sigh out. Good. 2 more times. Big breath in, big sigh out. Let all your body weight just melt into the floor. Good. 1 more time. Big breath in and then big breath out. And then just take a moment just to get accustomed to what you feel in your body. So this is going to help with motor behavior of understanding how your body feels right now. Hopefully you feel like that you have a lot more muscle activation going on, that you might feel that you have more of a body right now. And it's really great after doing all these activation exercises, just take a moment of feeling those sensations. Because those sensations going up to your brain are really proprioception, and that's going to help change your motor behavior going forward. They're going to help your brain remember all those positions and all that muscle activation. So you just want to go ahead and just feel your body, feel all the sensations in your body. And you can stay here as long as you'd like. And I'll just say thanks for joining me for class. And I'll see you soon.